Welcome to BrokeN Boys. This is episode 77. 77. Double digits. We've been having that for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome to BrokeN Boys. I forgot if I said that. My name is Mike.
I'm Colin.
And yeah, today we're gonna go a little bit of a miscellaneous episode, but we're gonna go over, the new release from Panic at the Disco, Viva VeNgeance.
Yes, sir.
Before we get into that, how was your week?
Been alright. Went home last weekend. A nice grand old time.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do? I just kind of hung out. I played some cards with my dad and my siblings. I went to Target.
Oh, shit.
Normal Midwestern, boring.
That is kind of true.
Town.
Going
vibe.
to Target sometimes is like an actual activity
Yeah.
we do in our hometown.
I went to Cane's.
Oh,
Had some Cane's. It was good.
Cane's
Better
sauce.
the second time around.
hell yeah. Oh yeah, was that your only second time that you've been there? Hell yeah.
Went to sushi for my mom's birthday. It was good.
Nice.
And then I went to this Stranger Things pop-up shop on Monday in the Oakbrook Mall.
Mm-hmm.
Never been there before. Have you ever been to the Oakbrook Mall?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, it's an outdoor mall. And we get
Oh.
there, and it's the bougiest mall I've ever been inside of.
Or outside of.
Or outside of. We get there. We immediately go into a Crate and Barrel, which is a
Sounds like Cracker Barrel.
right. It's a furniture store.
Okay.
And instantly I'm like, I don't belong here. And then
I don't need furniture.
we walk out of the store into like the court, like the main kind of area.
Yeah.
And there's this huge fountain, this big old lawn for like movies, and there's like Gucci and Versace, is it Versace?
Versace, I believe that's designer clothing.
Designer clothing.
Supreme.
stores. Yeah. And I'm like, where the fuck am I? And we go in there, and I'm like, I'm ready to spend money at the Stranger Things store. We get in there. It's a Monday at 11 a.m. The week school starts for people. Packed.
Yeah.
I'm like,
How long was the pop-up for?
it's been there since May.
Oh, what the fuck? That is
Yeah.
odd. I thought it was like maybe like a week thing or
No,
something.
it's
I was
been
like,
there
that makes sense.
Been there since May.
Jesus.
Absolutely packed to the brim. And I was like, I'll get a shirt or something. Shirts were like, cheapest one I found was like $35, which I guess not all that bad, but still fucking expensive. There was this cool like 2-piece like button down and short combo that was like the 11 outfit from season 3 with all like the cool, the black with like the cool like 80s kind of shapes and shit and the neon colors. I was like, that's cool. And then I looked at the price, it's like $70. I'm like,
Woo!
Jesus Christ.
That makes sense.
And I'm looking around, nothing's really catching my eye. There's this cool shirt, but I was like, this is just, I can't get like there's no room to myself. I'm trying to look at shit, people like pushing past me. I'm like, okay, let's just get the fuck out of here. So like my mom buys this hat for my younger brother and like a sticker for her car. And the fucking cashier, he looked like he wanted to blow his brains out. He was just like, eyes were like halfway shut. And every customer, he'd get done a customer, he'd go, next!
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, oh, this poor guy. He probably worked at one of the other stores and was just told to come over here for the pop-up. And he's been doing this since it opened, and he's just like fucking done with it. And I'm like,
after hearing probably like thousands of kids go, Chrissy, wake up! Yeah.
No Eddie merch, by the way.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
There was this like screen on the wall that you could like custom make shirts and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And there was like a team shirt where you put 2 characters on it.
Yeah.
And no, Eddie wasn't on there, but Erica and Argyle were.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes even less sense since Argyle is on there because he was also introduced in season 4. So.
But you could like get the same character on the shirt, so I just put Steve and Steve.
That's funny.
It would have been funny if I bought that, but I was like, I'm not gonna fucking buy this.
How much were like those custom shirts?
I think it was like $45, which not awful.
It's basically like concert,
right?
merch.
I'm like, this isn't a fucking concert. I'm not gonna buy this shit. And then,
sorry.
Yeah, and then we were like, let's get out of here. So we leave, and we're just like, let's explore the mall. We're going around, seeing all these designer stores. None of these rich assholes know how to share a sidewalk. So they're walking like 4 across, and you have to get fucking next, like walk on the other side of them.
You're poor. You got to get out of their way.
Right. And like we're looking around. We're like, we're hungry. It's time for lunch. And there's this. There's a Nando's there. You ever heard of
I've
Nando's?
heard of them. I don't really know what it is, though.
It's like big in the UK, I think.
Okay, that's
like,
probably where I've heard
on Hot Ones, you'll hear like British people like, I get it Nando's and I get other hot stuff, but it's usually too hot for me.
Okay.
Like a cheeky Nando's.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
That may have been where I've heard it.
Me and my youngest brother. We saw that at Nando's.
Is it like a chicken wing place?
Yeah, it's like a Portuguese chicken place.
Oh, okay.
And we were like, oh, let's get cheeky Nando's. Let's get a cheeky Nando's. Uh-huh. Just annoying the shit out of my sister and my other brother. And we were like, we went. There was this other like, you go in and there's a few other food options. But we left that and we were like, let's just go to Nando's, and we went to Nando's, and the food was fucking awesome.
Really?
Like, it was so good.
I was gonna say that could have, the way you started that sentence, it could have gone awesome or awful.
No, it was really good.
Wow.
Like super fucking good. And there's a ton in Chicago, but like the closest one is probably in like Naperville, which is sad because like
I don't remember. Is Oak Brook closer to Chicago or is
it's a little closer to Chicago?
Okay.
It's
I was trying to remember where exactly that is.
Yeah, it's not. It's like half an hour, 40 minutes from home.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's not like super far. But yeah, that was really good. And like we left there after our food, and we were like, let's explore the other side of the mall. We find there's like a map of the mall, and we're like, there's a store called Psycho Bunny, and we're like, what's that? Let's go check that out. So we go over there, and it's this cool like cheaper designer store, still expensive, but like cheaper. But and the logo was like a bunny skull and crossbones. So we walk in there, and instantly the fucking.
Sorry, I was gonna say it's like some Darko shit.
Yeah, kind of. And instantly the fucking employee was like, "Are you looking for something specific, or are you just browsing?"
Jesus.
And we're all just like, just browsing, and we're like looking at stuff. And, it's still designer stuff, kind of. So it's like a t-shirt was like $70. Shorts for like $75.
Jesus Christ.
Baseball, like a fucking baseball cap was $35.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't belong here. Like, this stuff is kind of cool looking. I like the design, but like the instant you walk in there, you just feel judgment. It's like,
gotcha.
I walked in this exact outfit, and it was just a fucking Batman graphic tee and gym shorts.
Yeah.
And like instant judgment, just like, oh my god.
Jesus
It was
Christ.
awful. So we like left there, and we're just like making fun of them, making fun of all the rich people. And then we walk out, and there's this dude with like middle parted hair, like shortest shorts you've ever seen, a Gucci like body bag, and like a polo shirt. And he's like on the phone, he's like, bro, there were like 100 people there. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
My God.
And like,
it's like LA.
Yeah,
in
right.
Fucking rural.
I'm like, who
Illinois.
the fuck do these people think they are? But just the snootiest fucking place I've ever been in, I swear. And I was like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I hate this place. So we left there and we went to Target and we're like, now this
this is home.
Now this is where we can be ourselves.
This is more like it.
Yeah, that was interesting. Don't recommend going there.
Yeah.
The pop-up store was kind of cool, but it was just kind of mid. You know, just fine. But yeah, didn't do a whole lot other than that this week. I watched the finale of Better Call Saul.
Yes, sir.
Fucking amazing.
Yep.
Go watch it. Now you can watch the whole series.
Yeah.
So good. And right after I finished watching the last episode, I went back and watched the first episode of the series.
Oh.
And I was like,
I'm sure that was just like,
nah, this is nice.
Yeah. It's such like a change of tone, but like in a satisfying way.
Yeah. And there's like there's this scene in the finale where like that directly parallels a scene in the premiere.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Really great show. Highly recommend it. Really glad I caught up.
This is coming from a past hater. No, I'm kidding.
Never a hater, just a slacker. But yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I started watching this show called True Detective.
Oh, yes.
Has Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson.
Is that only one season, or are they doing more?
There's 3 so far.
Oh, really? I feel like I only heard about it for the first season. Yeah.
I think maybe they got new cast in later seasons, but like I've watched the first couple episodes and it's very good so far. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are great.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, other than that, just been working. Just been, you know, dying at work. But how was your week, Mike?
The week was pretty good. I mean, a lot of this week was centered around, I had my clarinet audition yesterday. So a lot of it was preparing for that. Mm-hmm. I showed Vince the music for it because he also heard me playing one day because he got home earlier, and I was like, sorry, I need to practice. But the fucking fast movement is fucking disgusting for that audition. Just like constantly jumping up and down like between really high stuff and just, I don't know, and really fast too. Not a big fan. I posted on my story one day because I was just getting really frustrated. I was like, "Hey, if you ever write for clarinet, the very few people that follow me that could actually use this advice, don't do this." But yeah, that's honestly what a majority of my week was spent working on. Was just trying to get that down the best that I could. But leading up into that, let me see if I can do this in order for my stuff. Mm-hmm. I believe it was last Friday it was last Friday because we were gonna get pizza with you after the pod, but he wanted to go home. So
sorry, I had frozen pizza at home.
Oh shit! But we have like some coupons for a really good place near our apartment, Vince and I. And we used one of those and we got like 2 large pizzas and like some breadsticks for like $30, and it was pretty large pizza. Like it was dinner and lunch. And we both paid like $15. It was not too bad. But we did that, and we were talking a little bit on the way there about like TV shows and stuff like that, because I think I was probably talking about Better Call Saul, just like, oh, that's happening Monday. And somehow we mentioned, I was like, yeah, Colin's been telling me to watch Barry for like so fucking long now. And like Vince was like, oh yeah, it's one both you and John like to talk about. Yeah. And I started looking into it as we were waiting for the pizza. I was like, oh, I didn't realize these episodes are like 30 minutes long. Yeah. And also it's like 30 episodes, maybe
it's 8
not
episodes
even.
A season. So
yes, it's not even that then. And I was like, oh, this is actually really short. And then we were talking more about it, and we're like, you know what, let's try it. So both of us watched the first 2 episodes of that on Friday while eating some pizza. We both liked it. Mm-hmm. So I think that may be kind of our thing. It's kind of like the perfect length for something that we can watch together, just like, you know, because we both have busy schedules, especially with school about to start. Yeah. So it's just like, oh, hey, one night we'll watch a 30-minute episode. Oh, wow, that was good. Kind of talk about it, whatever. But yeah, no, that was good. Barry is a good show for the first 2 episodes. I can confirm that.
It is very good. I love that fucking show, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. It's so fucking good. Second season.
All right.
Hits its stride.
We'll look forward to it. We're already intrigued by it. So.
Yeah, man. Bill Hader, fucking amazing. Yeah. And Henry Winkler, fuck, dude.
I think I've only ever seen Bill Hader in It Chapter 2. I think that's the only thing I've actually seen him in. But he was really fucking funny in that movie.
Oh,
so.
yeah. No, he's my favorite SNL cast member, alumni. I watched a movie called Skeleton Twins with him and I forget her name. She was another Kristen Bell, I think, maybe. I don't know. It was another SNL alumni. He was great in that. He's just great in everything he's in. He's very funny. And he writes and directs
I know, like the fucking like credit star rolling. It was like written by Bill Hader, directed by Bill Hader, executive producer Bill Hader. I was like, bro, is he Tommy Wiseau? Like, what the fuck?
It's his show. It's fucking
I didn't realize he was like literally like the centerpiece of everything, pretty much. Yeah. Like, I thought he was just the main actor. I was like, oh fuck.
No, it's so fucking good.
Yeah,
he's the best. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's good so far. Looking forward to watching more of that. I thought I would mention it just because I thought the dude was insane. But Brad Taste in Music, he did another one of his challenges that he's been doing recently, where he was playing Thunder by Imagine Dragons, everyone's favorite pop song. Sorry, everyone's favorite rock song. That's very much a rock song. And bless you. Sorry. Was me saying Imagine Dragons rock, did that like trigger something?
Yeah, I'm allergic.
Okay. Yeah, he was playing Thunder, but every $10 he got in fucking donations, he would restart the song. And he never changed the amount, he never gave up or whatever. I think his computer crashed or something the first night, so he picked it up again in the morning. But like, I think he listened to about like 5 to almost 6 hours of just the song Thunder by Imagine Dragons. And like, I would tune in every now and then. I'm like, oh my god, he's still going. Oh my god. Like, I think he must have reached at least 200 resets. I don't remember.
I think I skipped to the end of like the VOD.
Yeah.
And it was like 276 or something like that.
So he made like almost 3K just by doing that. But like, still, it's like, oh my god. That is a lot. Like, I, as ex-Imagine Dragon fan myself, I don't know if you want to include yourself, but like, I would not be able to do that. Like, not even close.
Dude, fuck, nah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and he didn't seem to be like I said, I would pop in and like every time the thunder came in, like even like 100 resets in, he would just like it's like, it's that bad. Yeah, but I just want to give a shout out to Brad because god fucking damn,
Godspeed, Brad.
Godspeed. I mean, you got that bag, but
yeah.
Whew. Yeah, then the next thing significant was Better Call Saul finale. You know, Colin talked about it. I, ditto everything that he said. It was a really, really good finale. At first I was like, I feel like somewhat unsatisfied with this. But then like the more I thought about it, I was like, no, this is the best way they could have done it. Yeah. Like it's so good. They did a great job. We're not going to spoil, just because you should watch this show.
Yeah, it's crazy what they did to Kim, though.
I know, right? Yeah, when Gus killed Kim behind the scenes, that was crazy.
Yeah, like Hector fucking blew her up in the hospital room.
Yeah, right before he went. Yeah, Kim was in the hospital. She really aged super. She was so much older than Jimmy. We never knew the entire show.
It's all that smoking, I guess.
I guess so. That's so stupid. I love that. But no, it's a fantastic show. If you've watched Breaking Bad, you should watch it. I've been thinking throughout the entire show, like, whether or not someone could be able to watch Better Call Saul without watching Breaking Bad. And I think it's possible,
Mm-hmm.
but you would have to like take a break from Better Call Saul, because the ending of Better Call Saul basically spoils like the biggest points in Breaking Bad, just because it's kind of like wrapping up both stories.
Yeah, you might have to like watch through season 5, then watch Breaking Bad, then watch season 6
or something. Or I like had like a whole Reddit post that I made because I was genuinely curious what other people thought, and like I think I have come to the conclusion you probably should watch Breaking Bad first, just because it doesn't cleanly connect. Like you won't be able to watch like Better Call Saul, get closure with that show, watch Breaking Bad. Like, there's no way to do that without just like spoiling yourself. But very good shows, both of them, both 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I would give Better Call Saul a 10 out of 10. It really it was perfect for me. Day one viewer, just saying. But yeah, I this is like the only show I was like, I don't think I've ever actually seen like a show intentionally finish a season before, or sorry, finish a series before either. Like everything I've watched on TV has either been after the fact, hasn't finished, or is really drawn out, and that's basically Walking Dead that I'm referring to right there. So I just like stopped watching. So no, it was kind of surreal being like, damn, this is the last episode. Yeah. It was that. And
speaking of The Walking Dead, though, did you see that there's another series coming out?
Jesus.
It's called like Tales of the Walking Dead.
Oh, I did see that.
Terry Crews is in it.
Terry Crews is in it? Fuck. I did not pay attention to like most of the commercials when watching. Oh, that's one thing. Fuck you, AMC, because the commercials for the finale were kind of awful. Like there was one point where like there was a full commercial break, and then there was like a 2.5 minute scene of the show, and then it went right back into commercial break. I was like, are you fucking serious? I was like, bro, it was like one scene. I don't know.
Real quick, do you want to spoil the entirety of the finale? Just go through it beat by beat.
Like legitimately?
Yeah, let's just fucking let's just this happened and then this happened.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so Huel ate Kim.
Jesus.
You didn't see that fan theory?
No.
Because Huel in Better Call Saul is a lot thinner because the actor lost a lot of weight. So the theory was that the reason Kim isn't around in Breaking Bad and the reason why Huel is bigger in Breaking Bad is because he ate Kim.
Oh no. Huel.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy when that reveal happened in the finale. I was like, holy shit.
Fuck, dude. And then Chuck. Wow.
Yeah.
He had a cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went on for a couple seconds,
Yeah. It was just
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, Chuck had like cancer, so he has that thing. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, Trevor,
Jimmy.
which goes against his character because he doesn't use electricity.
Right. Yeah. So it hurts him every time he speaks. Yeah. It's really poetic.
Yeah. Honestly.
I am not crazy. I know we switched those numbers.
You put this phone in my pocket. I'm gonna kill myself.
He defecated through a sunroof.
Let's call that Chicago sunroof.
That would be fucking funny. But yeah, really good show. Really good show.
Go watch that fucking
show. Go watch. And if you haven't seen either, watch both of them. You'll only be doing yourself a favor.
Then watch El Camino.
El Camino as well. Yeah, great movie. Great movie. So my friends, they've seen both shows now, and they haven't seen El Camino.
That's crazy. I watched El Camino like day one, baby.
I think it was day one I watched it too. I'm definitely sure it was. But
so good.
Yeah, really good movie. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there was that. That's pretty much how my week was. I've been kind of slacking a little bit. Just audition.
It's the week before school starts. You have the right.
Yeah, I guess so. I've been playing a lot of Far Cry 4, and also I've been playing games with my friends at night just because I have the time to now, and I won't once school starts. Mm-hmm. So I have been relaxing a little bit more than I should have. Oh, there was one day. I think I've talked to you about this before, but like for me, I don't get hungry unless I eat something in the day. Like literally, like because I don't eat breakfast and anything. So like usually it's when I have lunch, then I'm like as soon as I eat something, then I'm like, oh shit, I'm hungry. Like I'll keep eating. One day, I don't know, I just kind of skip breakfast. I also didn't really have lunch. I was like, damn, this is weird. I've never done this before. So I ordered like on DoorDash, there's like a Taco Bell meal for two thing. You get like, you get 2 burritos, you get 2 tacos, you get 2 like little nachos things, and 2 Crunchwrap Supremes or whatever. And it's like,
it's a lot of food.
It is. It's like $12 for all that too. And I'm like, I've actually done that a few times because I'm like, this is a good amount of food for $12. Yeah. But usually it's like 2 meals worth of stuff for me. I just fucking like downed the whole thing almost, and I was like, God damn. Holy shit. It also tasted so fucking good. I was like, I've never liked a Taco Bell burrito as much as I do right now. I was like, this is so good.
Those Crunch Wraps are crack, dude.
I know, the Crunchwrap Supremes, you get 2 of them in there. I'm like,
insane.
Yeah,
they're kind of expensive on their own.
I know. It's crazy. Like, I think one of them is like almost half the price of that whole meal. That's why like that meal deal is fucking nuts. But yeah, those Crunch Wraps are always the best part of that. But yeah, I was just like, I don't know. I just thought I'd mention that because it was a weird thing for me. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all I did. So that was my week. I got my audition. That's what I was leading to. Right. I had the audition yesterday for clarinet. I think it went fine. Good. Could have done better. Could have done worse. Probably going to be in middle band again, which is cool. That's where I want to be, to be honest. So yeah, cool.
Music news.
Panic
dropped.
Panic did drop. We will get into that. There was also the Backseat Lovers, which I told you to listen to yesterday, but I re-listened to their album. I talked about it a few weeks ago because it was in my album recap during one of the months. I don't remember. Of their 2019 album. I believe it's 2019. And like I listened to that again and I was like, holy shit, this is even better than I remember. Like, I liked it a lot, but then something really clicked with me. But they announced a new album that's coming out in October, and they released a single last night. It's like something / dying. I don't remember what it was. Is it on my homepage? God damn it. Holy Fuck by Demi Lovato. Growing / dying. I thought it was alright. Had some cool chord and rhythmic stuff going on, but his vocals were really pushed far back, which was a little sad, but there was that.
What kind of music is it?
It's like indie rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So right up my alley.
yeah. No, you'll really like that album. Okay. I like the more I was listening to it, I was like, fuck. Yeah, it's like it's kind of got like the car seat headrest vibe, a little bit of Rex in there maybe. The vocalist is really good. Cool song structures and shit. Yeah, you'll like it a lot.
Sick.
But there was that. Then we got "Don't Let the Light Go Out" by Panic a little earlier in the week, which
I didn't listen to that one, but when it came out,
you didn't?
For the album to come out, yeah.
Completely fair. Yeah, but we'll get to that when we get to the actual album, which might be now. Did you have music news?
New James and the Shame single came out.
Oh shit.
Where We're Going. Really fucking sweet love song about him and his wife. His wife also duets with him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
She sounds great. It's just a really, it's a song about, I don't know where we're going, whether it's heaven or hell. Don't care where it is as long as you're with me.
Oh.
It's very, very sweet.
I'm going to listen to that.
Yeah. I mean, you might later. We'll see.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And then the 21 Pilots are back on tour, and they have possibly the best set list they've ever had.
Oh, really? I haven't seen any.
Let me get this out for you.
Okay. This is very appropriate because our last week's episode was ranking the 21 Pilots songs.
Yes, it was. It was a fun one.
I'll have to see about this set list.
Let me find it. Where is it at? I know I liked it.
You like Josh Drum? Josh Drum on the Duns.
Josh Drum on the boom. Hold on. Okay, let's see.
I guess to kill some time. I saw on TikTok earlier they did like some sort of like graphic design poster for the Icy Tour like challenge and like that their fans did, which I thought was super cool, and like there was a lot of cool like fan art in there. Yeah. Like I thought was super sick.
I thought so too. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so they start off like they did with the last tour, Good Day into No Chances, with like a little,
classic,
fairly local bit. And then they go Guns for Hands.
Oh, hasn't been on for a little while, I don't think.
You have Morph, Holding On to You, The Outside, Message Man, Lane Boy, Chlorine. So normal stuff so far.
Okay, yeah.
Mulberry Street. And then Tyler just went to B stage. It's just a solo Tyler B stage again.
Okay.
And he goes Addict with a Pen.
Oh shit! Like full song or?
It's a medley.
But
and then he goes Forest.
Okay.
Ode to Sleep, Hometown, Bandito, and Choker.
Interesting.
So he acknowledged regional at best.
How so?
Like he was like, you guys have been the glue the whole time through self-titled regional at best vessel.
Oh shit! He said it.
Yeah.
He said the words.
Yeah, he said the words. And
actually, Forest. It's been a long time
Yeah,
since they've done it because they've done like medleys before with Attic with a Pen, but I forgot it was Kitchen Sink that they did that before with
apparently
like during Trench.
it's been since like 2017 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. And then they went, and then they had the Judge.
Is this out of B stage or is it still there?
This is off B stage.
Okay.
The Judge, Migraine, The Hype, Nico and the Niners, Jealous.
Nice.
And they had the fire the campfire section again. They had Tear My Heart, House of Gold. It was shorter this time. It's Tear My Heart, House of Gold. We Don't Believe It's on TV. Into the Halo theme song, and the Halo theme song goes into Jumpsuit.
Fucking
the covers
formidable as well.
Oh yeah. And they go Jumpsuit, Heavy Dirty Soul. Then they did My Blood, which I'm jealous of again.
Yeah.
Saturday, Level of Concern, Ride. Oh, and for the campfire bit, they had an inflatable mattress.
Okay.
That they had the ukulele on top of, that they just had the crowd bring to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Ride, Tyler went off somewhere, and then they brought the air mattress out to him, and he jumped onto the air mattress while people were holding it up, and they just had him surf it to the fucking main stage again.
Interesting.
And there's this video of him just going. Yeah, they Ride, Shy Away, Car Radio, Stressed Out, Heathens, and then Trees.
That's a pretty solid set list.
Yeah, it's super good.
That's a long set list.
I know.
Too. That's a lot of shit in there.
And they got rid of the MCR cover.
Oh, I'm Not Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, fuck you guys.
We got to see that.
Yeah,
also, the
creamed my pants.
Benny and the Jets was cool too when they
was.
did that. Wasn't it like the second night that they did that we were there?
I think so.
Because remember you saying like, oh, the night before they added something.
Yeah.
I was like, what shit? What?
Yeah. It was but that's a really cool. I saw some videos. Looks like a super fun tour.
Yeah.
Seems like it's gonna be the end of the Skilled and Icy era and into the next album. People are thinking, oh, maybe it'll come out next year.
Speaking of Skilled and Icy. Right there.
Here's my confetti.
Yeah.
And my get out of here, Brendan. And my picture from the tour. Love that picture. But yeah, that was cool.
Sick.
And then Panic dropped,
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, that James and the Shame song was really fucking good. So, yeah.
Cool.
You want to get into Viva Las VeNgeance by Panic at the Disco?
How do you want to go about this? You want to like, I guess in my head, give like little background, go through the songs, then overall thoughts. Is that cool? Cool. So, Panic at the Disco. I mean, we have a whole episode dedicated to their discography. If you want to go check it out, it's Artist Analysis, Panic at the Disco. It's a bit of a love-hate relationship. Maybe not love-hate relationship, but it's
love-dislike.
It's a bit complicated, especially we realized with their later albums, notably Death of a Bachelor and especially Pray for the Wicked, that things were kind of
shaky.
Once it became the Brendan show, it gets a little weird. But coming into this, we got the lead single, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the second single, which I thought was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then, going through that. So I didn't really know I was kind of excited after the first song, but after the next one dropped, I was like, I don't know what to think about
And then
this.
Local God came out, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of in the middle for me. Mm-hmm. It's somewhere between those two.
Yeah, and then I didn't listen to the fourth single before the album dropped.
Yeah.
So I'll just fucking wait.
So I was really just like, this could go anywhere. Don't really have high hopes, don't really have low hopes. No pun intended with the high hopes, because that song sucks. But But that's kind of what the background for me was. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I feel pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second song sucked, but
Yeah.
Viva VeNgeance is the first single back in 4 years, and, you know, the first track off the album did a really good job of introducing us to this kind of era.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I liked it a
Cool.
bit. Yeah.
Cool. So I guess we'll get into the track list, even though we kind of talked a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Track list starts off with Viva VeNgeance. I just want to say, oh, God damn it, it's doing this shit again.
Stretched.
Okay, we'll just have to be like this. Okay. Yeah, Viva VeNgeance. I said I honestly still love this song. There's still some parts that are mixed really strangely. I'm not a fan of the production all the way throughout. But the chorus fucking slaps. Like, I think it's one of their best choruses. I love the key changes in this track, and I like the structure of the song as well. And Brendan sounds like he's having a lot of fun in a good way. It's a great compliment to the song in general. So while it's not perfect on a production end, I think the song itself is super, super solid and is super catchy. And it's honestly, it's something that still gets stuck in, prior to this album coming out, was like getting stuck in my head just like randomly throughout the day. Should I think go to bed? Yeah. It's got a nice tune to it. I like it. I think it's really good.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I love this song a lot. That the end especially where he's just shut up.
Nice.
I love that fucking part.
Yeah.
And he sounds great on it. I love the dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's super fun. It's just a really fun song. And after the disappointment that Pray for the Wicked was, it was very nice to have this come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really solid start to the album. I really don't have much to add there.
Yeah.
It's just a really good way to start the project.
Yeah.
And then we jump into a really bad song.
Yeah.
With Middle of a Breakup. And, when it started, I was like, okay, maybe I don't hate this. Because, it starts off fine. I like how it starts off. And, other than the chorus, I think the song's just okay.
Yeah.
The chorus really fucking ruins it. It's like, make up sex in the middle of a... Make up sex in the middle of a breakup. And it's just fucking awful. Yeah. It's really bad. But, the fucking... Everything outside of the chorus is okay.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's, but the chorus makes me hate the song.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like... It's just sad. But, it goes downhill once the chorus starts. And, but God, is it a fucking earworm? Because the same thing that happens with you with Viva VeNgeance happens with me with the chorus of this song.
Oh, really?
In the middle of the day, it just out of nowhere, I was like, make up sex, and I'm like, oh, why is this in my head?
Yeah, that hasn't really happened to me.
It sucks, and I don't know.
That sounds like a fate worse than death.
Yeah. And I thought it was making me not hate the song as much, but no, I don't like it. It's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It's just a bad song.
Yeah. Yeah, I said, I honestly still hate this song. Middle of a Breakup. It just feels so sloppy. It's shitty and distracting lyrics, uninteresting instrumental. Like Colin said, it's fine, but it has, very little character to it. Yeah. It's just there, the instrumental. Super awkward key changes, too, especially the, oh shit, now you're touching my neck, that part. Yeah. It's, really awkward how it changes right there. Brennan's vocals are a little iffy in it as well. Yeah. There's a couple of moments musically I like in the track, just a couple, but as a whole this is kind of down there with one of the worst songs they've released. And I really do not like this track. Then you said, the lyrics are kind of the biggest point of it. It's so bad lyrically and so in your face lyrically that it's just it just ruins whatever okay track is there. Yeah. It's just bad way to transition out of a really good fluffy song. Yeah. And then we go into Don't Let the Light Go Out, which is the new single. And I think it's all right. I think I'm mostly positive on it. It's got some cool dynamics to it for sure. A lot of good louds and softs in there. It has some interesting horns and woodwinds sprinkled in when you can hear them. Yeah. And a likable melody as well. I think. It's very derivative. The melody, it sounds straight out of 80s soft rock or whatever. But yeah, Brendan's vocals strain a little bit in the high register here, like noticeably. But I don't know. I think it may be a little too derivative for its own good for me to like really like it. Yeah. But like all in all, it's a decent track. This one's kind of gotten stuck in my head the last like day I've been listening to the album. But yeah, I think it's all right. I'm not mad with it.
Yeah. No, when you say it's derivative, I agree. Like the heavy machinery part, you're the only one who knows how to operate my heavy machinery. It feels like I've heard that somewhere before.
I feel like I've heard the yeah. I've been trying to put my finger on it since like they had a teaser for that. I'm like, that is in something else. What the fuck is that? Yeah. I'll
get to it when we get to God Killed Rock and Roll, but I think it's Queen. Like, is
it Queen?
It's very Queen.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I get into that as well.
Yeah, God Killed Rock and Roll is very Queen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel the same. The first thing I wrote for this song is it's alright. The first listen through, I was like, the singing is good, and I like the horns, but nothing really sticks out. The first listen through, I was just kind of like, whatever, it's fine. It's not the best, but it's definitely not bad like the last song. It's alright. But the second time I was listening to it on the way here, it grew on me quite a bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's a pretty okay song. It's not as good as Viva Las Vegas or Viva Las VeNgeance or
whoa.
I'm sorry, Elvis stands.
Yeah. Any Elvis stands in the chat?
Sound off. Yeah. Give us a thank you very much. But yeah, it's not a bad song. Just didn't really stick out first listen through, and the second listen through, pretty good. Pretty good song. Yeah. But yeah, no, nothing super bad about that one. And then we get to Local God, which is the third single that was released, and the last old song.
Yeah, we've heard all the. Well, I mean, I've heard all these songs prior. But
I still like this one quite a bit. It's very interesting to hear him talk about Ryan Ross so long after we've heard nothing about him at all.
Pretty much, yeah.
I like the idea of it. It's a kind of a tribute and kind of a nice song for him. Brendan sounds good on it. I like the chorus and everything. But I really hate how abruptly it ends.
The fade out, right?
It's so weird.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
It doesn't. No other song on the album does that.
Right.
And it's just like this weird fade out that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I hate it. But other than that, the song's good.
Yeah.
I like the song.
Yeah, I didn't mention that, but yeah, I've noticed that before too. I think I've listened to this track maybe 3 times, and each time it happens, I'm like, oh wait, what the fuck? It's like in a strange place. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it.
It's like in the middle of a chorus.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but it's not like, it doesn't feel like the outro. It just,
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just feels super abrupt. And weird, but.
Yeah. Local God, I said the last single. Last single we're talking about. I like the lyrics to this one more than the music itself, me personally. I think Brendan does pretty okay vocally throughout. The instrumental is just lacking for me. I'm not super into the sound that they chose, and I'm not, to be honest, I can't really put my finger on why that is. I can't say oh, I don't really like this, I don't really like this, because I think it all sounds good. Mm-hmm. I just think I'm not a big fan of the sound of the track in general. It's fine. It's just super safe is kind of all I was able to say. But yeah, there's a cool key change that goes into the chorus. That's one thing that happens all throughout this album, is that there is just kind of jarring key changes, and there's a couple times when it works, but most of the time it doesn't. But going into the chorus, it's cool, but when it comes out of the chorus and goes back into the other key, it literally just sounds like it slapped together. There's no leading into it or anything. I don't know. To me, that's distracting, me personally. But it's just a little forgettable, if I'm being honest. I like the lyrics quite a bit. I think lyrically, this is actually probably my favorite song on the album. That's pretty much what I got to say about it. All right, Star Spangled Banger. New stuff is what I put. I wrote that right before listening to it. That's the most exciting part of this track. This chorus is bad. It's very chanty anthem. We are the dancing queens, or what? I don't remember what he says, but it reminds me of the shit I dislike about like post hiatus Fall Out Boy. You know, like stuff from Save Rock and Roll on. Like it really reminds me of that type of stuff, and that's not a good vibe for me. And then the verses are just like these weird, like it feels like it goes into a Queen song.
Yeah.
Except it really shows me how talented of a vocalist Freddie Mercury was, because he's doing like that like fast talking thing that I can't think of what song. I think is it We Are the Champions? Or no, I think it's
each moment I get up.
I think that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Can't stand on my feet.
Yeah.
There's
like a part in there where he's like, like kind of like does like a fast thing.
What song is that? Is that?
I don't fucking remember.
Gonna be and cry.
I don't know, but whatever that song
is, famous Queen song.
It is a very famous Queen song. But like Brendan's obviously trying to do a similar thing right there, except it's like kind of fast the whole time, so it's like somewhat rap, but like not really. But like it just doesn't have that charisma or flow that Freddie Mercury would usually get into. Like it doesn't sound like it's appropriate for the song. It just kind of sounds like he's tripping over himself a little bit. I don't know. It doesn't sound great. And yeah, I like the tempo changes.
Somebody to Love.
I think is that Somebody to Love? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it is.
But yeah, I like the tempo changes in the track. Like it has a tempo change from chorus to verse. But that's really about it. This is not a great song. I think it's even lower than Middle of a Breakup for me. Like Middle of the Breakup, like I can at least say the instrumental is fine to listen to, but like this chorus is just so bad. Like I like very little about this song.
No, awful title.
First
off. When I saw the track list for this album and I saw Star Spangled Banner, I went, oh no.
That was one of the ones you pointed to, like when you first said, because I was like, oh, this could be a good album, and then you're like, Star Spangled Banner. I was like, shit, I didn't see that.
I said, I mean, it's interesting, but I just don't get what he was going for. It's just not great. I do like the tempo change, but we're the freaks! Like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that part of it.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, Brendan. Like, what do you even...
I think he's got to be 40, right?
He's like, I think he's mid-30s.
Really? I think he's older.
He's a little older than Tyler and Josh, but like not super old.
I guess that's true.
I mean, you can look it up.
That's true. They got famous when they were 17. They mentioned that in Local God.
And that was what, 2005?
Yeah. So okay, yeah, maybe they're
like
not
late 30s.
Yeah.
But not great song. Just like listening to it last night, I was getting tired. 35. I was getting tired. I had to work at 8 a.m, and like this just made me like
yeah.
Like,
it's a mood killer for sure.
It really is. Like after Local God, I liked Local God a lot, and Don't Let the Light Go Out wasn't bad, but then this one came on and it just fucking ruined the mood, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And just not a great song. Even the second time around, I was like, no, it's not great.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. I see that he was trying to go for something. I just don't know what that something was, and it wasn't done well.
Yeah.
So yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Not good. Let me get into God Killed Rock and Roll, and the first thing I felt was Queen. This is Queen. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I like the switch up made me hesitant at first, but I think it honestly worked.
Yeah.
I do like this song quite a bit, especially the second time around. It grew on me quite a bit. I like the vocals a lot. I like the Queen feel. It is derivative, but I feel like it's done fairly well.
Yeah.
And you know, I know Brendan is trying to be Freddie Mercury in ways, especially with the fact that when he was doing live shows for like The Death of a Bachelor and Pray for the Wicked tour, he was doing a whole Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, he had a whole version of it on the Suicide Squad soundtrack as well.
Yeah. which is, fine. It's fine to look up to your heroes and like do covers and stuff, but like you don't have to do completely Queen inspired stuff. But I feel like this whole album is very Queen inspired.
I would say once you get past the singles, because I didn't really catch any whiffs of it on the singles, me personally, but like there's a lot on here that feels very Queen inspired. Sorry, real quick, just to interrupt. On my album of the year review, I kind of started it with, if Pretty Odd was their ode to the Beatles, this is their ode to Queen.
And for the most part, they don't do too awful at it. I think that they have, there are definitely good moments in this album where it's very like this is Queen inspired and it's done well. Yeah. But there are other points like in Star Spangled Banner where it's like, you could have gone with a different style. Yeah. But yeah, I like this song quite a bit. And yeah, I don't have a ton to say about it, but it was good.
Cool. Yeah, I have similar thoughts on this one. I put speaking of Queen, since I was talking about it with the last one. I said this one's interesting. At the very least, I can say that this is one of the most structurally interesting Panic songs. Like, it goes through a lot of different phases. And like, I think the quieter moments work a lot better too. Like, it starts off, the very beginning is like quite obviously like homage to Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, it starts with a cappella vocals, and then it does like a very similar like piano line. I think it's just, I don't really see it as ripping off as much as I see like paying tribute, because it doesn't sound like Bohemian Rhapsody after that. But like, I don't know, I think Brendan kind of kills it on vocals there. He sounds really good over just like a slight ballad. I think it's why I like Pretty Odd so much. Yeah, the quiet moments work a lot better, but like once like the guitars and bass come in, it starts feeling a little bit messy. I was getting the same feeling as you. It's like, I don't know if I like where this is going. But the actual refrain where they like do the God killed rock and roll, like, I think it's fine. Like, I feel like I should dislike that, but I kind of don't. Like, I think it's catchy. I think it's done pretty well for the most part. And yeah, so I definitely have to come back to this. And they put update. This track is a little messy, but I kind of respect it. I think it's a decent song. Like, there's things that could have been done better for sure. But like, I think of like some of their experiments that they do on this album, this is one of the better ones. Like, I think it kind of hits what it's trying to do for the most part. Yeah. And yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I agree. Good song, I like it quite a bit, bro.
Yeah. Say It Louder is the next one on the track list. Yeah. I said I am super conflicted on this one, and after multiple listens, I can say I am still super conflicted on this one. There is an honest-to-God great song hidden in here somewhere. Yeah. Like, it is there, all the pieces are there, but it just ends up trying to do way too much. Like, it just feels like ADHD in not a good way. Like, it is there's good elements that they just kind of like throw out the window to do like something else, and then they come back to the good elements, and then I don't know, like, the drums sound great when they're there. Like, I think the guitar lines are like, like, it sounds good. But I don't know, it just sounds off in execution with how much stuff they're throwing at the wall. And there's also just a random like noisy synth that's in there. Like, you can kind of like hear like it's like it like does that. It is so out of place. I'm like, why the fuck would you put that in there? Like, every time that popped up, I was like, why? I don't know. I'm not a fan of that part for sure. But no, even on like, I didn't update it, but on my third listen or whatever, I was like, there's such a good song in here. It's just so chaotic that it gets lost in translation, and like it makes me not want to return to the track, which is disappointing. I don't know. It's a really weird track to me. Okay. Yeah. How do you feel about it?
First listen, I went, oh, yeah. Like, it's a very interesting song. I like it. Even now, I like it. Yeah. I get what you're saying though. It's like a weird. It's weird. It sounds a little off, but I don't know. I like the sound of it. I think it mixes old Panic with new Panic sound quite like it's kind of a good mix of the two. I said, like, see, if they did more of this stuff, like, reminiscent of the past with more modern Panic sound, they'd be great again. But they just need to do it a little cleaner than they did here. Yeah. But I think it's a solid song overall. I get what you're saying with like the noise synth. Like, I remember that part, but it doesn't like super stick out to me. And And I liked the feel of it, so I thought it was a pretty solid song.
I agree with you. Like I said, I'm so polarized on this song. It's like one of the weirdest songs I can think of where I'm like so split on. One other thing I just want to add is I don't remember how the beginning of the chorus starts, but I don't really like how it starts. But then once it gets to the say a lot of other people say, and then like then the back, and like the drums there and the guitar, like that part sounds great. It's like, I don't know, there's so much good and just like off things about it for me. It's so weird.
It is a weird song.
Yeah.
It's not, I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, no, and I totally get it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's so strange to me. But
like, I was vibing with the album, like after we passed was it Star Spangled Banner, I was feeling it,
Yeah.
And it kind of continued throughout the rest for the most part.
Okay.
And into Sugar Soaker, well, the next two songs are kind of where I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Sugar Soaker, instantly I was like, I love the Cars soundtrack.
It's the first thing that came to your head. I love that.
I don't know why. It just felt like
sense.
It just felt like life is a highway.
It does have that feel to it.
It was just like, this feels very Cars soundtrack.
Yeah.
And, honestly, and it's cowbell the whole time. It was just like, more cowbell, please.
Right.
But yeah, it's an inoffensive song. It's just kind of boring. I don't have much to say about it because it kind of falls into the background. But I was liking it for a bit, but it's just like, it's very safe, very inoffensive, just kind of boring, and there's not much to say about it other than that. More cowbell panic, please.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know much to say about that.
Yeah, Sugar Soaker. I said it started off fine, but the chorus is a little insufferable to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, I really don't like the Sugar Soaker. I don't remember how it goes. It's something like that.
Uh-huh.
And, like, there's a guitar line in it that's, like, kind of cute, but it loses its charm real quick because it's played throughout the entire thing. They get like a little experimental, and like there's like a bridge of the song that's like just instrumental, and it's like gets like kind of like almost like Day in the Life Beatles for a second. Like it starts getting like really not like, I don't want to say distorted, but like it gets like creepy for a second, and then it like goes back into this, which I thought that was kind of cool, but I don't know. I thought that outro as well with Brendan just like repeatedly going come on like, I thought that was fun. I liked that. It's a fun song, but I'm not a big fan of that chorus. I think it just reminds me a little bit too much of like Sugar by Maroon 5, which is another song I hate, so.
I mean, Sugar, sure. Sugar Soaker,
I know. But I'm a little iffy, but more on the negative side for this one. So
that's fair.
And then something about Maggie. This one's also interesting to me.
Yeah.
I like things about this track. I do like a lot of things about it. The one thing that really brings it down though is the way the chorus starts. The way he just goes, Maggie! The way it happens, like, I don't know, probably like 6 or 7 times in the entire song. It's like, it kind of gets grating. But it brings, just that alone for whatever reason, brings the track down for me. But I don't know, there was some cool stuff. Like, there's a mid-song switch-up in this one that's, like, really cool. It kind of lasts, like, I don't know, like a few bars or so. But it's like a really cool, like, thing with the people say part or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, I can see a lot of people hating, like, the people say, run away, or whatever. Yeah. I could see them hating that, but I honestly didn't mind it too much. I thought it was kind of a cool thing that added character to an otherwise bland track. So, like, it's weird. Like, there's parts of it I like quite a bit, but I don't know. Overall, I'm like kind of not really into this one that much. I don't know. It's a weird one for me again.
Yeah. No, I, in the same way you were conflicted about Say It Louder, I'm kind of conflicted about this one. Like, I don't love the Maggie, that fucking, it is a little grating. But the people say, I really love that part.
Yeah.
I think that's super interesting, and I like that sound a lot. But the way that it just, like, fucking, like, it's a okay message, leave your abusive boyfriend, but, like, at the beginning, he's like, whatever makes me want to slit my wrist.
Oh, yeah, I was like, is that this song? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I'm like, huh?
It's like so clear.
It's so
too.
out of nowhere. And it's like, are you okay?
It's like fucking open the slits in your face or whatever from 21 Pilots. It's just like, what the fuck?
Like, it has a cool instrumental. It's just such a weird song.
Yeah.
But, whenever, the chorus, fine, whatever. The Maggie thing is... Ugh. But, I really like the people say.
Yeah, me too.
And it's just, like... Pick what you want to go with. You don't have to, like... Go with one style for a whole song. I just don't understand the mixing of these weird kind of styles.
Yeah.
Which he does, like, we've said it a few times throughout talking about the tracks. Like, he does this quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Which is weird, and I don't understand it, but, like, it works in some ways and, like, doesn't really work in others. And it's just, like, this one, like, I'm conflicted on it because I like parts of it, but in other parts I'm like...
This one has, like, the opposite problem than, like, a lot of the other tracks, in my opinion, where, like, I think some of the other ones, like, the switch-ups were, like, the interesting... Or, like, sometimes the switch-ups were the parts that didn't work too well, like, took away. But this one, it's, like, the core song I'm not a huge fan of, but the switch-ups were the part that was good. It's, like, it, like, flips the script. It's kind of odd.
Yeah. It's probably on the lower side of the track list for me, but, I like parts of it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but then we get into Sad Clown.
Mm-hmm.
I went, okay. I like the style of this one. I think it's a solid track. I don't honestly remember a lot of it. I didn't write a whole lot of it down because it was towards the end of the track list, and I was just kind of like, I'm fucking tired. But I on the second listen, I thought it was good. I like it. I like the style of it. I don't remember hating anything really about it, so I don't have much to say about it. I'll let you get into what you have to say because you have more extensive notes.
Yeah. Sad Clown, the first thing I put is, what the fuck is this song? That's, like, not necessarily in a negative way. It's a genuine question. It's like, what the fuck is this song? I said this is the type of whiplash I get from, like, a Black MIDI track. I don't know. It's like I couldn't really latch onto it before it, like, changed itself up. Like, it had, like, a lot of changes that, like, did rhythmic things or, like, vocal things. I don't know. It's an odd track, but overall I kind of enjoy it. I definitely enjoy the instrumental for being so bold and just, like, doing a whole bunch of shit, but, like, in a kind of a cool way. The one thing I don't really like about this track, though, is, like, Brendan's vocals. He has, like, a weird accent he kind of puts on, and there's, like, all my friends are dun-dun-dun, like, something like that a little bit. I don't know, it's kind of odd, and he, like, does his, like, whole high notes spiel on this one, too. Like, this is, like, the song where he really just, like, goes up there. Which, I mean, it was kind of cool, but at the same time, the Brendan show is always a little,
Even though I think on the, like, credits for the album, it's more than just him as the band now.
Yeah.
It's still pretty much the Brendan show.
It still feels like the Brendan show. It really does. Yeah, I mean, the vocal performance I wasn't really huge on, but the instrumental itself was interesting. Yeah. It definitely was cool. I don't know. I just didn't really like what Brendan did over it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that one. It's weird but interesting, I guess. Then we go to All By Yourself, and I say, okay, I really dig this one. It's like the first key change stuff since the first track that, like, I've legitimately enjoyed, because, like I said, they've been doing that throughout this entire album. But I think there's actually really interesting stuff going on in this track harmonically, but it feels focused. It doesn't feel like it's scrambling all over the place like a lot of these other songs do. The guitar instrumental feels more consistent. There's a guitar solo in here, which is probably my favorite on the album. That's another thing that we haven't mentioned yet, is, like, every single one of these tracks has a guitar solo pretty much. And a lot of them, me personally, I find to be, like, really bland and uninteresting and doesn't really have a lot of character to it. But I think this one sounded pretty cool. It was a lot more fitting. I thought Brendan's vocals worked really well. And me personally, I said I felt like this is the aesthetic the entire album has been trying to hit. But this, to me personally, feels like it's the only one that's, like, it's the one that's the most realized. And as a result, it feels the most successful to me. I like this song quite a bit, honestly.
I completely agree. I really love the vibe of this song. Slower songs really work with Brendan's voice. And it's just, it has like this old rock sound, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's just a super solid song. Like you said, it's very realized. Realize.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know. No, I really like this track. And I think it really lends well into being this penultimate track.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a ton to say about it because it was end of the night. And I got through half of it on the way here.
Gotcha.
So I didn't even get to the last song again. But yeah, I like this track a lot. Yeah.
Cool.
And then we get into the finale with "Do It to Death," and I went, "Oh, no piano ballad."
Oh, that's true. I forgot that a lot of their album closures have been piano ballads.
This is
for a
the
while.
first non-piano ballad ending since
probably Mad as
Vices
Rabbits.
and Virtues.
Oh no, yeah, Vices isn't really a piano ballad.
Yeah, we had The End of All Things,
Impossible Year,
and
then
Dying in LA.
Yeah.
So it is the first non-piano ballad in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the guitar and vocals at some points I feel like sounds like Vice's era, which I really love.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and I like that this was out of the norm, and the ending of the song was very pretty. It brings back the "shut up and go to bed," which I really like. I didn't get to this one again, but I remember really liking how it ends the album. I think it's a really solid, pretty solid song.
Cool. Yeah, this is another one I'm conflicted on, but I can much more separate my thoughts because the song itself is kind of separated into sections. So I start this off with saying this chorus fucking sucks. I really don't like the chorus on this track.
I don't remember it. So.
That's fair. A lot of the choruses sound the same on this album.
Yeah.
I said the chorus fucking sucks, but the rest of the track is like super creative and like sounds wonderful. Honestly, like this is some of the best production on the album because there's like two sections where it like almost goes like ambient, like it goes like ambient like in the middle ish, and like that sounds super cool. Like you can actually hear like the strings and I think there's some like woodwinds that are going on in there too, and it sounds really cool. And I wish more of the album was like produced with that much of a focus.
Yeah.
And then there's also the outro, like you were talking about, where I think it's just strings there, and then it's doing the shut up and go to dance, or shut up and go to dance. I think I was thinking of shut up and dance with me. Shut up and go to bed. With that, like returning and stuff like that, and like Brendan sounded really good over that. And I was like, damn, I really wish I was able to hear this type of instrumentation more than like the kind of bland guitar and like bass that's on this album. I wish like some of that stuff shone through a lot more. But like, yeah, it's just like I don't like the chorus at all, but the other stuff is pretty decent. So
yeah.
The other stuff is really cool. So altogether, it kind of becomes just okay for me.
Okay.
Yeah, the outro.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the way it ended the album or whatever.
No, I like how it ends. I think it does a good job at wrapping it up. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Want
to get into your overall thoughts?
I have a lot of overall thoughts.
Okay. I don't have a ton.
Mine are just kind of going off the top of my head, but I wrote a long album of the year post on this. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said I liked this album more than I thought I would. On first listen, there are a few songs that were just boring and meh, but quite a few were fun and interesting. I definitely still hate "Middle of a Breakup," but that's the only one I truly hate. I'm glad that his sound switched up because another "Pray for the Wicked" would have been a death toll.
Yeah. And we kind of mentioned that in our artist analysis too. Like their next album kind of dictates.
Yeah. That was On second listen, all those notes were first listen. But second listen, I think Star Spangled Banger is definitely really close to Middle of a Breakup to hate wise.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't really dislike this album. I liked it quite a bit, honestly. It was a nice return to kind of form, nice kind of tribute to Queen. For the most part, and I think he did well with it. I think it's a nice listen, other than a few points, and I'm very pleasantly surprised by the album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, just kind of going off the top of my head, I'm like somewhat conflicted on the album. Like it has a lot of really cool elements to it. Like, there's a lot of cool switch ups, a lot of cool instrumentation. I think it was all recorded to tape, so it has more of like a vintage sound to it. But like, I don't know, like it kind of, I think they try to do a little too much and they don't focus on the stuff that like actually sounds really good on the record. And I think Say It Louder is the prime example of that for me, in terms of like, there's really cool stuff in that track, but then there's also really odd choices that they make to distract itself from that. I don't know, and I feel like that's kind of how I feel about a lot of this. And like, yeah, it's very Queen, a lot of it. And I don't really mind that for most of it, except for when it's done bad, right. Like on Star Spangled Banner. And the lyrics themselves are quite distracting at points, but it is Panic at the Disco. Right. That's kind of been the trend since Deathful Bachelor. But yeah, I don't know. There's I think for me personally, if this album had some better production, like, I think it could have been a lot higher for me, because there's all the elements are there, like the tracks, the one that, like, this happened all throughout the album, but the one that I'm most familiar with is Viva VeNgeance, and I talked about the production when talking about that track. But there's really interesting like string and like horn and like woodwind stuff that you can hear in the background with good like headphones, but like it's never like given attention until like explored. I would argue that it's explored. It's just put into the background of the mix, so you can barely hear it. It's like in favor of the vocals, drums, and like guitars. Like that is all like front center, very poppy, clean production on it. And like I think if like those additional sounds were brought forward on more of these tracks, they would have a lot more character to them, and they would sound a lot, because like the moments where it slows down, like in Viva VeNgeance, where like it has that slowdown section, it's just the strings there and Brendan. I think that sounds amazing. It's like, I think if it was produced a little bit less like a pop record and more like, I guess in some ways closer to how Pretty Odd was, with like having those instruments just as important as the other ones, like I think it could have been a lot more satisfying for me personally. But yeah, no, this is, I saw someone say on Album of the Year that this is like their most experimental record, which in some ways I agree with. I think Pretty Odd may still be a little more adventurous than this one. But like, it is very experimental. It's just the experiments they pick and choose are a little questionable sometimes, and sometimes it's really cool. It's just, I don't know, like I've been saying, I think they just should have maybe focused a little more on honing in on the interesting stuff rather than Makeup, Sex, and the Nova breakup and we are the dancing queens. That kind of stuff. It's just,
if they really dove into their experiments instead of trying to keep it a little safe and not, and not like out of the ordinary for like sake of radio hits and stuff like that, I feel like it would have been much better.
Because I agree.
You know, I would love a new Pretty Odd. But
this very well could have been that.
It could have been. Like, if they brought out the different instruments more than like what you were saying with the vocals, guitar, and drums, it would have been like very, you know, up there in you know, in the experimental done well kind of area. But the fact that it's all pushed back and they try to like they peek into the curtain of like, this is something cool that we'd like to do, but they just didn't. And they just don't.
The Album of the Year does not like this album.
But they but instead they dove back into these, like, into their safe space, which, you know, is fine. I get it, but like, really, you could have done this, and like, you have evidence here that it would have worked, because like the instrumental, the experimental parts are super interesting. I'd love to see those explored, but they just don't. And it's sad.
No, and the reason I brought up Album of the Year is because you were harping on something that I think one of the actually news publications has as their review, and I was like, oh, I very much agree with that. It's kind of what you were getting at too. It says, this is an album that hints at complexity, but is inevitably overshadowed by Yuri's one-man show. And like, I think that is kind of a good way to put it. It feels, I mean, like, we were talking more about the pop sound, but like, it's kind of hand in hand, Yuri and pop music, Brendan Urie. like, I think he really, with it still feeling like the Brendan show, like we were talking about, I think it really does kind of take away. Like, he's, like, you know, trying to belt these stuff and, like really super high notes and stuff like that. Really trying to be, like, the main, like, character throughout the entire album instead of kind of letting the music shine. I think it really gets distracting and a little grating at points even.
Yeah.
And I think it takes away from the cool stuff that's happening in the songs. Like, I think if he focused more on having appropriate vocals rather than trying to show off on every track, right, I think more things would shine. Like, his lower register is a really nice part of his voice that's like not really shown at all in the album. I don't know. There's cool things here. I just think the execution of it from both Brendan and the production was a little lackluster. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. No. I think that's pretty much all of my thoughts on it. It's like, it's an album that had potential to be really good and really interesting in their discography, but it played it too safe, and then, you know, also there's a couple songs on here that are just kind of unforgivable. Right. Middle of a Breakup and Star Spangled Banner, to be clear. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. Yeah.
I don't know if you wrote down your favorites and least favorites, but I have a few.
I could probably list them. Yeah.
My favorites were Viva Las VeNgeance first, All by Yourself, Say It Louder, Do It to Death, and Local God. And then my least favorites were Middle of a Breakup, Star Spangled Banner, and Sugar Soaker. And on first listen, I gave it a decent 7, but now, after talking it through and, like, listening to it a second time for the most part, I'm probably going to go with, like, a light 6.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm just going to do this because it's easier. My favorite tracks here, Viva Las VeNgeance is still the best song on here, in my opinion. All By Yourself, I think, is another really notable one. And Don't Let the Light Go Out has really cool moments to it, too. With a special questionable shout out to God Killed Rock and Roll. like I said, I like parts of that. I also really don't. And my least favorite songs were Middle of a Breakup, Star Spangled Banner, and Sugar Soaker as well. I would throw that in there too. Yeah. But yeah, it's a weird album, but not in the way I think it was intended to be. Yeah.
No, it's definitely a step up from Pray for the Wicked, but they could definitely do better. And I hope, with the next project, whenever that is, I hope they step more into that experimental area, because I think they can do really good stuff. They've
always had really cool additional instruments. Like, they always have really interesting strings on all of their albums. That's one thing Panic is consistent with, is there's cool strings on every record. Yeah. But they were bringing in some, like, brass and woodwinds in here, and, like, not in brass in the ways of like, it was more appropriate.
Not artificial brass.
Yeah, it was more appropriate. And I agree. I think if they were to lean back into somewhat more of, like, the Pretty Odd sound with, like, I don't even mind the pop rock stuff. It's just, I think if it was more focused on with that other stuff, it could have been really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also forgot to mention, but my rating is pretty similar. I would probably have it at, like, a strong 5 right now, but, like, light 6, I've been toying with that as well. It's somewhere in that region for me.
Yeah. I liked it more than I thought it would, but I would love to see more experimentation.
Yeah.
I think if they, the band would be in a much different place if they still had, like, Ryan Ross and and fucking, I don't know how to singer.
Dallin Weeks.
Dallin Weeks. Like, my dream lineup is Brendan, Ryan Ross, Dallin, and, like, maybe the drummer from back then. Like, the one that was just with him for Vices.
I don't think they had a drummer just for Vices.
Well, like,
they had Spencer Smith.
The other guy on the cover with him on Vices.
Oh yeah, that's Spencer.
Yeah, if it was them four, like, this band would be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it'd be a really interesting project.
But, if there's any way to convince Ryan to come back, do it. Cause,
if it was the original lineup without John, because no one remembers John.
Poor John. But yeah. But that was our Viva Las VeNgeance review.
Yeah.
But yeah. You want to get into song of the week?
Yeah, I probably should. I'm up this week because in honor of, one of my favorite shows ending, and also because I think it slaps, I'm going to choose the theme song to Better Call Saul. Because it has a really... I don't think it's a spoiler to say that something doesn't happen. I don't know. But there's a cool point in Breaking Bad where, like, the theme song, like, comes in to, like, the show. Like, it's, like, incorporated well. And, like, a lot of the fans were hoping that would happen with Better Call Saul as well. Sadly, it didn't, but this song slaps. So I'm going to go with it. I think it's just called Better Call Saul Theme by, like, Little Barry, I think is what it is. Better Call Saul main title theme extended by Little Barry.
Sounds good.
All right. Better Call Saul theme by Little Barry. What'd you think of the whole thing?
I hadn't heard the full thing before. Didn't think that's where it was going to go, but I think it sounded pretty good. Yeah. Feels like a Cage the Elephant song a little bit.
Yeah, for me it reminds me of like, I think you have yet to listen to some of it, but like earlier Tame Impala stuff, it kind of has a little bit of that vibe. That psychedelic rock thing, you know?
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a banger. I just wanted to, pay some respect. I mean, the intro is probably always going to make me laugh now because of how many fucking memes have that. But,
it fits the vibe of the show.
It does. I wish it was incorporated into a scene, but it's okay. What they gave us was perfect. So.
Good. I know we just spent a whole episode talking about Panic! At the Disco, but I'm gonna go with the new James and the Shame song.
Understandable.
Where We're Going by James and the Shame.
Cool.
I don't know where we're going.
All right. Where We're Going by James and the Shame. What did you think, Mike?
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think I like that better than the other one,
really?
honestly. The other one was cool. Some of his vocals on the other one felt, I don't know, a little off to me for whatever reason. Okay. But I thought the instrumental was a lot more interesting on this one. And the harmonies were cool. The bass was kind of going off too. It was just kind of bouncing around, walking around. It's just nice. It sounded like the nice classic country that the good country. I liked it quite a bit. I thought his voice was a lot better too.
Yeah, no, I really like this song. It's super sweet. I'm sure I've said it on here before, but Rhett and his wife Jessie used to be evangelical Christians. Him and Link, both from Good Mythical Morning, used to be evangelical Christians. This song's just all about, leaving North Carolina behind and moving to the devil's town of Los Angeles, raising their children, putting their crosses down, leaving that life of Christianity and religion, and just, they don't care where they're going as long as they're with each other. And it's very, very sweet.
It's a unique message, really. Yeah. It's commendable.
I'm very interested to hear the rest of this album. It comes out sometime next month, and I think it's going to be pretty high on my year-end list. Yeah. Because just from these two singles, fuck, dude, I didn't think I was a country fan, but it sounds great. And, I'm a slut for Good Mythical Morning, and I'll listen to whatever Rhett or Link put out, but I wasn't expecting to connect with it this much, and I like it a lot. So, really looking forward to that.
Yeah. When I was growing up, probably up until I was around, 12 or 13 or so, my parents, that's pretty much all they would play was old country stuff. So that, I'm pretty familiar with that sound, and it's really good.
Both my parents were fuck country. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think they were telling me there was some sort of country surgence from the 90s into the early 2000s or something like that. And I think maybe I got the leftover of that as I was growing up. Now they just listen to Christian rock, so I preferred the country.
I think my mom is very anti. Well, my mom likes some country, but my dad, he's the older stuff is much. He'll listen to some of the older stuff. And okay. But the newer stuff, he's like, this is shit. So
that song in particular was so much more older stuff.
So, and it's beautiful.
It was really pretty.
I love the guitars on it. I love the instrumental, and I think that the duet between him and his wife is very sweet. So. Yeah,
that one definitely made me more interested in the album as well. I liked the other song. I thought it was good, but this one I felt like an improvement on almost everything. So cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, great to hear.
Oh yeah.
That was the episode for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're on streaming services, thanks for listening. We love ya. If you're watching us, if you want to watch us, we're on YouTube as well. You can see our beautiful faces, see us talk and cringe at some of the things that Panic did on the album. Yeah, you can. But yeah, we're there. You can find us all over the place. You can find Mike in multiple different places.
I'm behind you right now.
Yeah. Look out. He's got a knife. You can find his YouTube channel. You can listen to his music. Listen to his music. Anywhere you listen to music.
Hell yeah.
Do it.
It's there.
It's great. You can find him on TikTok. You can find him on Twitter. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him, in the back alley of Denny's, dude. He's just there waiting for food.
Every Thursday night.
That's when the good garbage rolls out. You can find me in a few places. I have my own album of the year page. I have my own Instagram review page. I have I have a Letterboxd. I run the TikTok account, which I need to post another on. I run the Twitter account.
Those are both for the pod.
For the pod,
yeah.
Yes. But if you find me in real life, just know what I did.
Yep. 1994. We don't talk about it. We've never mentioned it.
No, we've never mentioned
and we never will. So.
No.
Yeah.
It stays between us.
Yes. Right.
But yeah, thanks for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed. Go check out Better Call Saul.
Yes.
And James and the Shame. And if you liked some old Panic, you can check this one out.
Give it a fair shot.
I'm not going to guarantee you're going to like everything. We didn't like everything, but it was still better than their last project.
To break flow from the outro for just 1 second, on Album of the Year, I felt like a lot of the people, like a lot of the reviews I was it's very negative over there. It's like at like a 38 right now. I felt like a lot of the reviews I was reading didn't really give it a fair chance. Like, it kind of seemed like they all went into it knowing they weren't going to like it or something. Which, I mean, I understand that. I can see where it's coming from. But, like, I think it's getting a little overhated. Like, there's definitely bad moments on there. And things that should have been done better. But there's also a lot of really cool stuff. And I think it's worth at least giving a listen and seeing what you think of it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. People are just kind of hating on it to hate on it. With the Panic album, I'm not surprised by that.
Me neither.
But it's kind of just like when people, I mean, it's not entirely like it, but like before the She-Hulk show started this week, and the first episode was very good. Came out yesterday, very funny, very different. It has that Marvel humor, but it's like in a different way, and it's very well done. It's very funny. But people before the show even started were like fucking giving it 1s on IMDb just to be assholes. I've seen people going around saying MCU instead of MCU because they're focusing on women. All of a sudden,
how dare they not focus on the men anymore?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like the people who go into stuff expecting to hate it just because is fucking ridiculous, and it needs to stop. Just like go into something without any expectations.
Yeah, open-mindedness.
Yeah, it's not hard, I promise.
Yeah.
Like, even if you very much dislike a person, I went into the MGK album earlier this year knowing I'd hate it, but looking for stuff that I might like.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to do. Just check it out.
I mean, it's hard to find stuff to like in the MGK album.
True.
But in general.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's going to work for everything, but just try.
Yeah.
You don't have to hate something just to hate it. But yeah, check it out. But definitely check out Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Fine, boom.
Fuck you, I'm going to have to do it now.
Do a tiny one. Tiny.
Just very tiny. Okay.
Bye.
See ya.